A parked car, no crime committed. But when officers approach, they demand ID. Not from the driver, but the passenger. What starts as a conversation turns into threats, intimidation, and a blatant disregard for rights. This isn't law enforcement, it's control by coercion. In this body cam footage from Clifton, New Jersey, a man sits in a parked car. Not driving, not fleeing, simply waiting. But when officers pull up with their spotlight and start making demands, the mood shifts fast. They ask for ID, he knows his rights, and when he questions their authority, they push harder. No crime, no warrant, just a seatbelt, and a passenger who dared to say no. Watch what happens when knowing your rights becomes a threat to their power.
Okay, and I'm recording you now because I want to make sure. What's your badge number? It's fine because that could be deleted, but mine can't. Mine can't. What's your badge number?
597.
What's your name?
Right here, Marcelo.
Marcelo. Do you have a card that I could get for a complaint?
Oh, you can go to our headquarters.
But you don't have a card. You're supposed to issue a card.
There's no card.
You're a public servant.
Okay, sure, yeah.
What's your name and badge number?
Y Rojas.
And do you have a card?
No, we're not a business.
No, you guys are public servants. Y'all need cards.
So that's why you
y'all should issue cards.
Okay, so 900 Clifton Ave.
900 Clifton Ave. Okay, that's fine. But just to let y'all know, I don't need to issue an ID because I'm not driving.
So the way we came here, we came actually pretty respectful. We just said okay.
No, I know that, but y'all try to violate my rights.
So let me talk.
Okay, I'll let you talk. I'm sorry.
So we came, we're like, all right, like you guys are here, that's it, that's fine. You're blocking the driveway, that's fine.
Okay.
We're getting calls from people who live here.
Of course.
Who are also, the public.
Yeah, of course.
And they asked us like, yo, like this car is parked here. People come in
I
and
understand
out.
that.
They're concerned. That's
100%.
it. So our job here is just to make sure everything's
but
good.
This is public.
Wait, hold up.
Okay.
So we come, we ask for a driver's license. We're just gonna attach both of you to the call. Okay, we spoke to such and such.
Okay.
They're here, they left.
Okay.
And that's it. That was gonna be all.
Okay.
That was the only reason we asked for a driver's license.
Okay.
It wasn't to issue anything. It was to be put in our CAD that we did our job in case these people also want to make a complaint about us.
I got you.
So that was our job.
That's
I don't
your
know why
job.
it escalated to this point.
To this point,
I would have literally. I've done this with 1,000 other cars, and we just attach it, and then you good to go. Like, that was literally it.
All right, can I speak now? The thing is that those other cars didn't know their rights. You get me? He's the driver. He issues the ID. I'm not gonna give ID because I don't have to. This is not a stop and ID state. Although I was in the car, it was not in drive. All right.
It was actually in drive.
No, it wasn't in drive.
It
wasn't in drive.
When we were walking here, the vehicle was reversing.
It wasn't in drive.
I put it. Yeah, so then once we got here, that's right when he put his window down, he put it in park. So it was technically, but like I said, it wasn't park.
I got you, but I'm not trying to be hard or nothing. But you guys are trying to violate my rights by getting my ID when I don't need to issue an ID. You get me? I wasn't driving, and you guys know this. And that's why he said it's okay, because he knows that he's wrong. You guys know that you guys are wrong. You get me? You guys are wrong. Call a sergeant, please. Call your sergeant. Call your sergeant. No, call your sergeant. Call your sergeant. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not trying to be hard-headed.
I'm your educator.
I don't need to give you ID.
If I want to issue a ticket, I need your ID.
You don't need my ID because I didn't do nothing.
The
driver's right here.
Let me talk. You're a passenger in the vehicle. You don't have your seatbelt on. That's a violation. I can, whether you're in the back seat, don't talk. Whether you're in the back seat, front seat, in the middle seat, you're a passenger in the vehicle. I can issue a ticket for that. How do I issue a ticket? By getting your name and your driver's license.
My driver's license,
right?
Obviously,
you're a passenger of the car. The seatbelt is clearly not on.
Because we were moving.
It doesn't matter. Whether
it does matter.
No, it doesn't. Yes. Whether you're moving, whether you're not moving.
Because
but you technically were moving because the vehicle was in reverse.
I started moving once you guys came here.
Okay, so he just admitted on your camera that he did move the vehicle.
No, I started to move it.
He put it in reverse.
He started to move it
because he thought that we had to get out of here, but then you came up and made contact. Is that your sergeant?
The vehicle was still in motion.
Is that your sergeant?
No, it's not my sergeant.
Can you call your sergeant?
Sergeant's not coming out for this.
But here's my thing. What happens normally if you stop someone, right? I gave you my ID. The passengers in the car don't have ID.
Well, he doesn't have a seatbelt on.
What happens?
But the car wasn't in movement,
hold on, bro. Let me just
It
talk.
does matter.
Get their name, date of birth, and their
address. It does matter.
And that's how we attach it through our system.
And that's all that would have been?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
That's why we asked him. He asked them, do you have a driver's license? He's like, no, I don't. He's like, do you have a picture? He said, no, I don't. He said, what's your name? He said, I'm not going to give you my name. So you're already escalating it for no reason.
No, it's not escalating. You guys escalated when you guys asked me for my ID.
That's
you have the legal right to do.
Yeah, that's escalating because this is not a stop and ID state. You guys stopped him This is his
No, we
vehicle.
stopped
This is
his
not my
car.
vehicle.
His car. We stopped
And
the
either
car.
regardless, they didn't even stop us. We were parked here
It
already.
was an issue, a citation for your seatbelt, but you don't want to provide
We
that.
were parked here
It
already.
doesn't matter. If you're in
It
the
does
residential
matter.
vehicle,
It does matter.
then find the law where it says that.
It was parked. It was
wasn't
parked.
The lights were on when we were here.
It was parked. No,
reversing.
once you pulled up,
Yeah, that's when we
once you pulled
and
up,
then-
we thought that you wanted us to move.
I moved to get out of your way. That's when I started. Once you guys
but it
pulled
was
up,
moving, right?
but
Before?
it was
But
parked.
no, but it was parked.
until you guys
It
came
was parked
here.
until you guys came.
Until you guys stopped and
and
made
then
your stop.
flash
It
out
was
lights
parked.
at us. So
Yeah.
what were we gonna expect to move?
Realistically,
Right?
that's
thought
all
wanted you
that's
to
all
move.
we
Y'all
thought.
wanted us to move.
Realistically, obviously we were not moving.
It just makes sense.
Obviously, we
it's
were
just
not
a power
moving.
trip. That's all it is. So let's get the sergeant out here and let's see.
That means a car was in front.
Yeah.
But not even when he was pulling up.
If
When
he
came
saw,
and stopped.
listen, just listen. If he saw the lights going in reverse, that means the car was on and it was in motion. So that means that the car was in motion, whether you were driving in the street or almost leaving. So by law, if you don't have your seatbelt on, he can ask you for ID. Doesn't mean he's gonna give you a ticket. It's just that that's his right. Okay, that's it. Okay, for any occupants of the car. If the car is in motion, everyone has to have a seatbelt. If they don't have a seatbelt on, then you have to give your information.
Okay. So having a
the law.
seatbelt, is that a misdemeanor or?
No, it's just a Title 39.
It's just a title.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you have to identify
So
yourself.
in this state, to identify, you need to be committed. Like
A Title 39 violation
yeah,
is the
by-
purpose of this. Yes.
like basically of a crime. But that's not a crime. That's a misdemeanor.
No, you're twisting my words. I didn't say a crime. I said a Title 39
No, yeah.
violation.
But in this state,
A Title
or in every state.
No. We're talking about Title 39 violation. The seatbelt not being on, Title 39 violation. Which is for anything to do with
Yeah, if the car was in motion.
I just told you. He said the car, and you just said he was going in reverse.
It wasn't in motion though.
Going in reverse is in motion.
Once they pulled up, we were parked. Once they pulled up,
like
we
I
were in
said,
reverse.
like you're saying you're not trying to make it.
We
difficult.
wouldn't have been
And-
moving. He
No, but
wouldn't have
that's-
had the seatbelt
but
off if
what
you
I'm
guys
saying,
didn't
if your
come
car
up
was
anyways.
in reverse, all you have to do is give your information, and that's it.
So
We would have been
Because
on
I
our
pulled
way.
So what if I
just
don't
left
give
it
my
on.
information?
We weren't
Then it's
moving at any
obstruction.
point, right?
Then
So
you
then
make
what
it a
will happen?
crime.
We've been here for
Then you make it a
45
crime,
minutes.
So
and then
I
you
will
get
get
arrested.
arrested?
Yes.
When you pulled up,
If
it
you
wasn't in
wanna-
reverse. You can, your,
All you have to
whatever
do
your dash
is
cam
give
did,
them
you
your
got
driver's
as well.
license.
I don't
We
have a
only put it in
driver's
reverse once
Okay,
you pulled
then you
up,
give them
stopped,
your
and flipped the
information.
lights on.
That's it. If you don't have a driver's license on you, you
Yeah,
give them
you
your
can
name,
say that, and then,
your
yeah, then it was
information.
in
You have to
reverse, and for a
identify yourself
second,
for a
we
Title
had a
39.
seatbelt
Now it's
on,
up to
that's
him
what
whether
we're
he
saying.
writes you a ticket or not. Okay, but you have to identify yourself.
Okay. Well, not an hour.
You understand?
Definitely not. Definitely not. Again, we could have
That's
just
all
moved.
it is.
Easy, simple as that.
Like
I
if
don't
there were
think
4
so.
occupants in this
If you
car
were to
and
make
nobody had their
contact with
seatbelt,
me,
the same thing would
I am
happen.
being
Hey,
1,000%
identify yourself,
cooperative.
and that's it.
Listen, I gave you my.
So what if I
phone,
plead my
registration,
Fifth
I'll
Amendment?
give that. My insurance, I'll give that.
You can fight
No
the ticket
problem. The issue
in
is,
court.
why
This,
do
you have to provide your
pay for it?
information.
So I
If
can't.
not, you
so,
get arrested for obstruction.
So what you're telling me
I'm the
is
owner
that I
of this
cannot
vehicle.
plead
I
my
have
Fifth
my insurance.
Amendment,
That-
and I have
there
to
is-
give my information.
Yes, you have to provide your
I
information.
have to.
Yes, you have to.
Okay.
Yes. That's it.
Okay, nice to know. Just to let you know, I don't consent. I will give you my information, but I don't consent to it. You
What is-
understand that, right?
What is your, you don't have ID? Is that
I don't
what
have
you're
ID.
saying? Okay.
But I don't.
Let me-
I don't consent to this. But I'm gonna give you my information. But I don't consent.
What is
You
your
understand that, right?
name? What is your name?
You understand?
I understand what you said.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. My name is Matthew. I'm so glad we about to get paid.
Matthew, what's your last name? Matthew.
Ruiz. We about to get paid,
Okay.
bro.
And what is your date of birth?
It's March 9th, 1999.
You ever had a driver's license in New Jersey?
Yes.
Where do you put on insurance? Same address.
You could see it once you look me up. Ooh, we gonna get paid, bro. Qualified immunity and everything. Let's go. I can't wait.
Chill out, bro, 'cause
Nah.
they're gonna make it
All of
worse.
I got all
They're
of
gonna
their
make it fucking
I got all of their information. It is okay. We're gonna get qualified immunity. 1, 2,
I'm giving you a warning for the seatbelt. I'm not going to give you a ticket for the seatbelt.
Okay.
See, could have been out of here 20 minutes ago.
Okay.
gave his name under protest. No ticket, no charges, but plenty of damage. The officers never called a sergeant, never produced a business card, and never admitted fault. Instead, they turned a seatbelt check into a 20-minute showdown over control. And when it ended, one thing was clear. They didn't expect him to speak up. But he did. And now, with cameras rolling, so will you. Because silence isn't peace, it's permission.